Today will be the last day from Florida. We're back into the Philadelphia area next week, and be great to be joining you from the land of our home. So great to have you here with me this morning. Today we're talking about is the first step. Beautiful idea, the first step, and age-old idea is that the hardest step in any journey is the first one, just taking that first step. And it's interesting. We have that idea, and then we have this idea in the 12-step program that the first step is admitting we are powerless over something, and we can't do it. Just the old prayer: I can't, you can, God. I'm asking. That real simple. I can't, you can. I'm asking. Simple prayer. And it's interesting because in looking at this biblical commentary in the book Secrets of Heaven that we've been looking at about this deeper poetic sense of the Bible, it's beautiful in terms of how this is offered up. So I just want to read for you a couple of things here about that. If we think we can fight evil on our own, we are grossly mistaken. This is from Secrets of Heaven 18:13. Our self-absorbed point of view carries with it these delusions that seem so true but actually are the opposite. It takes a long time and a lot of wisdom to get that there's just stuff that overwhelms us and we simply cannot do it on our own. And here's the miracle part, folks. We're not supposed to be able to do this on our own. I mean, that's so much of the life of spirituality is, again, learning to turn this over. And the turning it over, to connect it to yesterday's piece with the third way, it's not this turning it over where, again, we're at the top, all powerful. And in a little bit of a paradox, it's also not meaning, oh, I'm nothing, I'm like dirt. No, you are something. You do have power. You are sitting in the control tower. You are able to actually say, yep, this thing, I'm powerless over it. And what can I do? Well, I can do this. I can turn it over to you, God. It's a different form of powerlessness. And one of the greatest paradoxes in all of spirituality. And I remember reading something on, I believe it was Mother Teresa writing about this. This was, way back when I was in seminary, probably 20 years ago. And she was talking about, the paradox of, like, the more powerless I can really get clear, the more clarity I can get around my powerlessness, the more powerful I am. And boy, folks, that is so true. You just imagine, and we'll just take one example of somebody dealing with alcoholism. I mean, so much of that is, hear this thing, I'm powerless over, God, I'm offering it up to you. And they actually find power in that, and in a brand new, unique way. I think too, as well, just with human relationships. I mean, some of us struggle with addiction things. I think probably all of us struggle with relational things in very similar ways. And this is hard to get language around. I struggle with getting language around it, but it's just interesting when we learn to turn this over. Really learn to turn things over. Turn it over to God. Turn it over to God. Turn it over to God. And that includes the hard relationships. Like, okay, God, I'm going to do the best I can. I'm turning it over to you. Give me the words. Give me the opportunity. If there's something I'm supposed to do, I'm really, really open to your leading on this. When we really turn it over, the powerful part comes from folks that we let go of not implications is not the right word, but we let go of constantly trying to describe the way it should all turn out. We don't know. We just know God, I'm asking you to help me turn over this to you. And if you let me know there's something I'm to do within this narrow band, I'm trust that you'll let me know. I'll trust you give me the words and the opportunity. And if I completely trust in you, I'm going to be able to let go of that. The results may look good, they may not, but that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to do your will. That's it. I'm just trying to do your will. That is a very different place to be, because we're not, I think for a lot of people, and I throw myself in here, a lot of anxiety comes from trying to manage the whole thing. And powerless goes like, nope, I can't manage it. This is God's thing. My job is just give me a knowledge of your will and the power to carry it out. Just give me a knowledge of your will and the power to carry it out. And that puts us into this very narrow band. And we're not struggling with the self-delusion that it's talking about here, or self-absorption. It's not that at all. It's just God, like, get me out of the way, less of me, more of you. That's the essence of powerlessness. And we really do. I mean, in another paradox of this concept, we find our true identity that way. We really find out who we actually are, who we were created from all time to be. And that's a very empowering place to be in our lives. So, folks, today, first step, always the hardest one in a journey, and that's that admission of powerlessness. And once we allow ourselves to be open to that, we allow ourselves to be open to the simple prayer, God, give me the knowledge of your will and the power to carry it out. Just that simple. So there's your message for going into this wonderful weekend, friends. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take a little breath. And after we take a breath, we'll listen to the waves. After we listen to the waves, we'll do a little meditation, a little prayer, a little blessing, and then we'll say hi to folks on social media. So join me with all that, folks. Let's get a little breath. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I. Be still and know that. Be still and know. Be still and. Be still. Me. Our Father, who art in the heavens, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as in heaven, so upon the earth. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you, bring you peace, and bring you home. Amen. All right, dear friends, let's give a little cheery hello to folks here. Again, I hope you all have a wonderful weekend planned ahead of you. All right, let's get it. Pull this up here. There we go. Thy kingdom come. All right, 6 comments here. Martha, good morning to you from out there in Texas. Tammy, great to see you joining us. Good morning. Love the sounds of the waves. Nice message. And Tammy, it's so true. Like they're just absolutely love that sound. Very great to have you joining us. Martha, George says hello. Hello, George. How are you doing? Texas, you're probably pretty darn warm. I would imagine that. And Rob, outside of faith, amen. And amen, I love that idea. It means it is true. So great to have all you folks joining us. Tina, I see you hopping on there. Good morning to you as well. And now let's do a little cheery hello here. Sorry about this, folks. This is it's not always cooperating with me as it is supposed to. Yeah, right. That's my thing, right? Okay. All right. A couple more comments here. Marcus, good morning to you. Sherry, I like being part of like-minded community, which really helps support this idea. It's so true. And just the, Sherry, I can see a lot of that. It's just interesting, right? When we're in parts of those communities, it's so hard for me to articulate to people who aren't part of those communities what it's like, because just being on that journey together, and it's not this journey of like, again, this self-improvement model. I mean, I was thinking about it yesterday. Sorry for ranting here for a little bit, but self-improvement model, again, look at it online. 99% of it is how to make more money and how to weigh less. You take those two things away. I don't know what the self-improvement model actually does outside of those two things. And that's not spirituality. You can make a lot more money and weigh a lot less and be a whole lot more miserable or a whole lot more happy. I don't think it really connects that way. But when you're with a community that can be in this journey, and a lot of it is a journey of powerlessness, a journey of just like, here it is, turning it over, turning it over. You was out to a wonderful dinner with a friend last night, and we were talking about that. Yeah, just the power in turning it over and having friends who we can talk about with that stuff. Boy, that makes a huge difference. So there's my little way too much of a comment to your comment, Terry. My apologies, but I do feel rather strongly about that. And Linda writes, "Good morning," and good morning to you, Linda. So nice to have you joining us. So, friends, I wish you all the very best. God bless. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will close with just a word about your generous support of New Church Live. Take care. Like our content? It's funded by viewers like you. Please consider becoming a sustaining supporter of New Church Live today. All right. Take care, my dear friends. We'll see you on Tuesday.